Hello, it's Stuart, the Unrepentant Atheist. Thanks for tuning into my channel. So today what we've got is a clip from the debate between Matt Dillahunty and Nadia Ahmed, who's a Muslim. And the title of the debate is Islam True? And we're just going to look at a clip here where they are discussing the fact that Muhammad married Aisha, who I believe was 9 years old. And we're going to hear an exchange between Matt and Nadia on this subject. So let's just listen to what happened. Matt's gone to the toilet. He's going to be back. He's going to appear in that chair.
Sure, we get to the core of their question about Aisha.
But child marriage, the point which I'm making from the following hadith, I'm going to go very quickly over here. Do not marry women for their beauty, for it may lead to their doom. Should you marry? You should marry the women for their deen, for their religion. So if you apply this test, this is never going to apply to a 12-year-old. This is never going to apply to a 9-year-old. If you apply it, the people who impress you regarding their character and their religion are going to be adults. So for us, we have, if you follow what Islam teaches, you're not going to wind up with a child bride.
This one coming in from, but I think they're saying that I think the point of their question though is getting at like granting that Islam teaches you not to have a child bride. Like, what's the story with Aisha? I think that's what they're saying.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. There is a Aisha at the time of her marriage was 9 years old. This is something which we believe Allah commanded Muhammad, whether he wanted to do it or not. This is what Allah commanded him, and Allah commanded with Aisha to do this as well.
Allah's a monster.
Hold on one second. Let me
Matt just said, I don't know if you caught it, Allah's a monster.
Gotta hold on. Allah's a monster.
You can talk. I'll let you talk. No problem. And so the point which I want to make is, so this is something they are being obedient to Allah to follow His commands. Now, how is this good? Look, Aisha, we find out now there's good reason behind that. Aisha was a gospel writer. It is because of Aisha why we are even having a lot of the discussions regarding the hadith. She preserved the sunnah.
Okay, well, granted that she was a gospel writer, and let's assume that when she was 9 years old, it was somehow known that she was going to be an important figure in Islamic scripture. I mean, why the necessity to get married at such a young age? Why not just simply wait until she's more mature? She can still be a gospel writer, and she can still marry Muhammad when she's an adult.
Or you could say the Gospel of Muhammad in Bukhari, Sunan Ibn Dawood, and all the references that you're going to find right behind me. So there was something very special about her. And God used Aisha to preserve the message of Muhammad that today we are benefiting. 9-year-old girls, they don't write gospels. Okay, I can bring my daughter over here. You'll see her playing on her iPad.
Is it 9 years or 6 years?
Do not do any of this. So there was something supernatural about that. And so there's evidence.
Yeah, okay, so he's got daughters and he said they don't write gospels. But what if Allah said to him, actually, one of your daughters, I think we need a bit of a scriptural update. And she's going to marry this Muslim living in Syria. And here's his name. He's a cleric, a very important cleric, very high up in the Islamic hierarchy. And she's got to marry him, and she's got to marry him now. That's my command. I wonder what he's going to have to say about that.
Behind that decision.
Was it 9 years or 6 years old?
Is 9 years, consummated at 9.
Consummated at 9, but married at 6. And see, you wanted an example of something that the Quran gets wrong with regard to science. The Quran gets wrong with regard to science. This right here. The notion that a 6-year-old is of reasonable age to consent to marriage is in violation of all science that we have learned about children and mental health and consent. There you go.
Well, this is the point, because earlier in the conversation, Nadia said that marriage is only permitted if the female consents to it, and Aisha did consent. Now, Aisha was a very young girl, and I think it's fairly well recognized in this society, at least in this modern world, that no person of that age could possibly consent to marriage. I think that's fairly well accepted. They're not physically mature enough, and they're not psychologically mature enough and emotionally mature enough. So that is such a poor argument.
There's your example.
and that's not in the Quran. Number one. Number two, what Islam teaches us is what I've shown you, and that
I'm not the one here
Islam.
monstrously defending child brides, but go ahead.
No, I'm not defending it. I'm telling you what Islam
You
teaches
literally
us.
did. You think Allah commanded it. That's a defense of it.
You know what?
You're saying it's fine if they consent.
Okay, we can move on.
The rest of the debate's over. Even if
He says he wants to move on. Oh, yeah. You know, it's like Christians want to move on when we start talking about slavery in Exodus.
you had won, you're now a monster.
No, I'm not encouraging child marriage. I'm telling you, no, you got to get the consent. That's mandatory for
You see what I mean? He's talking about consent. The guy's not living in the real world.
marriage, and no child is going to give their
Keep
consent.
going.
I want to marry this.
Keep talking. This is going to look great.
So Islam actually prohibits child marriages for the rest of humanity. So
Unless Allah commands it, or unless you believe Allah commands it, which is what you said
God doesn't
about.
talk to me. I like to hear from some Christians.
Nobody should talk to you.
God right now. Okay.
This one
Let's
coming in
move
from Abel Medina says, you know, it's possible to have a now, or I think they meant no, or no, they meant a now, in an infinite regress, right?
I don't know too much about that.
I think they're
now.
meaning like if the universe is eternal, if there is an infinite regress, like you could still have a now moment, kind of like a B theory of time. I think would fit within that.
Yeah,
theory.
no, I don't know too much about that. I don't. So I'll let Matt answer that. I hear he has. I mean, I heard some debates he's had on these issues. He's probably better talk about this.
You say you've heard debates, but a little while ago you said you'd listened to dozens of debates, and then you corrected yourself and you said you only listened to one. So how many debates of mine have you actually listened to?
Matt, I listened to one of your debates.
Oh.
And I watched your slavery debate.
But before that, you said dozens, right?
Okay, Matt.
And you said the slavery debate and does God exist debate. Can you be honest at all?
Yes. Matthew, please allow me to finish. When it came to the issue of concept of God, I watched one of your debates you had with the one Muslim guy where you discussed the infinite regress. And I forgot his name. And then I also watched your slavery debates, okay, with Dr. Josh and all of them. And that's why I was saying, listen, you should look at some of the stuff we've done on slavery. So those are the debates I watched with you. I'm one of your admirers.
Well, stop. It's not doing you any good.
Eric?
That's actually what I played this whole thing for, that last bit where Nadir said, first of all, Matt caught him out because earlier in the conversation, he said, oh, I've seen 20 of your debates. Now he's saying he's seen lots of his debates. And now it turns out actually he's just seen 2 of them. And Matt is saying to him, can you be honest at all? And now Nadir is saying, oh, well, actually, you know, I'm a big fan of yours. And Matt's saying, well, you should stop because it's not doing you any good. Okay, guys, I thought that was quite a nice little exchange. Let me know what you thought about it. And I'll be back again with another clip very soon. Bye for now.